Trading has arrived to Roblox Jailbreak after a long wait, and while it is currently incredibly popular, there is a good chance that trading will end up being forgotten and neglected by the player base. Therefore, I decided now would be a great time to rank 10 more features that have been forgotten by either the players, the developers, or both. Now, I've already made a video talking about 10 forgotten features, so if I don't list something in this video, I might have already listed it in that one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started. In 10th place, we have the private planes. While private planes were only added a month ago, they're already quite forgotten and I never see any players use them at all. There's not really much that can be done with these, as they only spawn in airports, so you have to really go out of your way to use them. Also, you have to pay 5,000 every time, and not everybody is rich enough to do that. So it makes sense why this feature is neglected, and I don't really see how it can be updated unless players are allowed to buy the planes for money, which I think would be pretty cool. But it would raise some balancing issues, as these planes are insanely fast, and if players can just drive them around, then it could raise a lot of questions. Overall though, I don't see any players using these, so they earn a spot on this list. Then we have the Jetpack. Previously an incredibly overpowered item that almost every player in the server was found with, now this item is pretty neglected by both the players and the developers. A big reason for this is due to the recent map expansion, which relocated the Jetpack over to Crater City. Now it's incredibly inconvenient to obtain the Jetpack, so many players are not going out of their way to obtain this. I think the Jetpack could really use a revamp, both in design, as I think it would be really awesome to customize it, as well as maybe give it some interesting new mechanics and definitely fix all the bugs and issues that it has. Also, please give it a much more interesting spawn location. I always hated that the Jetpack basically just spawned on some random cliff, and now it just spawns in some random building. I think more effort should be put into the spawn of an item like this. Either make it spawn at the airports or make it spawn in the military base, locked up behind a key card. After that, we have apartments/houses. On the side of the devs, this feature is not really forgotten, as we get new apartment decorations all the time. Every season we get at least one new apartment decoration. However, on the side of the players, I never see anybody using apartments and houses. They're just so neglected, and there's not really a point to buy them, honestly. While there is a feature that allows you to establish crews and gangs and stuff, this feature is kind of pointless as you get barely any bonus from it. Then we have dogs. This feature was long requested by players, and when it was added, dogs were incredibly popular. The game got a huge spike in player count due to the dog update. However, fast forward over a year later, and dogs are now incredibly neglected and no one uses them. The reason for this is because they are incredibly costly to buy. It costs over 100,000 J-Bucks to buy both of the dogs, and they do pretty much no damage. I think dogs could do with a damage buff, and I think they definitely need to have their collisions turned off, but I still think they're kind of a fun feature, and they're definitely really well modeled. Then we have helicopter bombs. Now, the weekend this feature was added, I remember everybody was using it, and I mean everybody. Like, all the noobs were equipping their helicopters and using the helicopter bombs. However, nowadays, helicopter bombs are pretty useless, and they haven't been updated at all since they were added. I don't think there's really anything you can do to update them. Maybe add like a scoping mechanism to allow people to use them, but I included them on this list because they haven't been updated in over 3 years, and pretty much nobody uses them now. Then we have grenades and smoke bombs. Now, a big reason why these items are not used is because of the cost you need to pay to use them. I never see anybody use these items at all. Grenades, it makes a lot of sense, as it's really hard to aim them to hit cops, and there's pretty much no point to buy and use them at all. Similarly, smoke bombs are also quite pointless, as they have a very limited range and it's pretty easy to get around them. Then we have the Swat shield. This item is incredibly pointless. It barely blocks damage from other people, and half the time it doesn't work since there's some kind of bug. It's also quite annoying to use as it slows you down when using it, and it also only lets you equip the shield at once. You can't equip any other weapons while you're using it. To me, the solution to fix this is pretty simple. Just make them work like how they work in prison life, where you can hold the shield and the gun at the same time. Overall, I think something really needs to be done with the SWAT shield, because the SWAT game pass right now is absolute trash, and buffing the SWAT shield would make it a tiny bit better. In third place, we have gliders. When these items were first added, they served as a decent enough escape from some robberies, but now pretty much nobody uses them, and they were rendered obsolete when the jetpack was added. I think one big reason these items are not used is because once you use them once, then they go away forever. In my opinion, they should just be equipable all the time. You shouldn't have to go back and get another one. This is just a very small item that has long been forgotten by the player base and by the developers. For our penultimate forgotten feature, we have binoculars and flashlights. These items are so useless and no one ever uses them. With the flashlight, it's pretty pointless because there's no area of the map that is dark enough to warrant it. The flashlight lights up barely any amount of space, and the map in general is just so bright that the flashlight is completely unnecessary. As for the binoculars, the sniper already is able to scope out a longer range of distance if you're searching for people, and you're able to shoot along with them. With the binoculars, they're actually bugged where you can't even zoom into an area, it just zooms into you using them. But easily coming in first place is the vehicle renting feature. On the Lamborghini, if you don't already own it, you are able to rent it for 24 hours by paying 99 Robux. This was an experimental feature added way back in 2019, and ever since then it hasn't been added to any other vehicles, and nobody ever uses this as it's a scam. In fact, I completely forgot about this feature, to be honest. I would have included it in the other list, but I completely forgot about it, so now I can include it on this list. This feature has never been implemented elsewhere by the developers, and the players never ever use it, so it comes in first place on this list. That's going to conclude my video covering 10 more forgotten features in Jailbreak. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out the video I made several months ago talking about 10 other forgotten features in Jailbreak. Now I want to hear from you though. What do you think? Do you use any of the features I talked about in this video? Make sure to tell me all your thoughts down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more Jailbreak rankings in the future, please make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Also consider following me on Twitter, joining my Discord server, and joining my Roblox group to get in touch with me more directly. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.